Hiccup's POV. I have had it. I was done. So beyond done. I should have left long before now. But stupid me decided to stay and let it continue. 16 years of neglect from that woman who calls herself my mother. But she doesn't show even an inch of care like a mother should. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure raising a child on your own is terrifying after you were kidnapped with your infant son in your arms. But I was pretty sure that ignoring his existence after he turned 4 years old wasn't how a mother was supposed to be. After yesterday's display over a simple question like whose initials were on the back of this pendant that she exploded over saying it was the past and garbage to throw it away, woman that me said it's part of my past too. I knew nothing about my former life before being taken away with my mother. I didn't know what island I was from, who my father was, nothing, and I despised it, so I was done. I was leaving tonight. When Mom went out on another one of her rescue escapees. I love dragons. I did. Hell, my best friend was one. A night fury who was feared by all dragons. I understood that killing dragons was wrong, and I did want to rescue and protect them, but not the rest of my life. I wanted to change people's minds, showing that dragons weren't bad instead of hiding them as a dragon vigilante. I knew there was more to this life than just this. Living in a secured ice nest with 4 only knew how many dragons. I looked over the necklace. I assumed the front had some kind of crest on it, and that would give me a clue of what to look for, but it was so damaged that I couldn't make out even some of it. The back with the initials was all I had to go off of. Maybe someone would recognize it, but I still had to be careful because I was traveling by dragon, and Vikings didn't exactly take to having them around. I figured it out later, but for now, I just wanted to get out of here. I had everything packed and stashed away in my closet, just some clothes and drawing supplies. Didn't need much besides that. I could eat on the trampoline. As nightfall fell over the net, I began my plan, acting like I was too sick to go with her on the mission, and it was easy to because Mom would just look over me and check my forehead before shrugging and walking away, like she always did. I laid in bed, covered up and faked shivering, also some coughing and groaning, when she began to call my name, saying it was time to leave. For Odin's sake, Hiccup, let's go! Volker yelled, coming into the room. I coughed harshly, looking miserable and shivering still as she walked to my bedside. I don't think I can go tonight, Mom. I feel terrible, I groaned. You're 17 years old, Hiccup. You seriously can't man up to handle a mission? She asked with her hands on her hips. Although the remark hurt to hear her say, I shook my head. But I'm not ignoring the rescue to stay home and care for you. I'll be back by morning. Volker checked my forehead, then walked away. I won't be here. Sorry, Mother. But I'm not just going to sit around and wait for you to tell me who I am. Was or will be, I thought, and snuck to my window and see her fly off on Cloud Jumper. I slipped on my boots and armor. When it came to my mask, I debated putting it on. Why bother? I didn't want to hide who I was. I wanted to find out who me was at all. I left my mask on the bed along with a note to my mother before securing my things to Toothless. As we headed for the exit of the nest, I looked back once more at the dragon's den. The nest was practically empty. The dragons were out for feeding time, so the bewildered beast, who I call Ice Shot because he shoots ice, I saw Mom's staff. She had forgotten to take it with her. How careless. I grabbed it and placed the strap over my head, while it now rested along my back. Toothless groaned at me, so I got on his back as he took to the sky, and we hovered a bit looking over the nest that had been home for 16 years. Let's go, bud. We'll show her that this isn't all life has to offer, Hiccup told him. With a roar, Toothless and I sped off and heading southwest. We didn't know what we would find there, but anything was better than being stuck in nest all the damn time. 6 days later. So far, nothing. We passed a few islands, but nothing special, or had anything that could help me. It was interesting. Now out on my own, it gave me a lot of time to think about things, mainly how much my mother loved dragons more than me, which really hurt to come to terms with. Since I was born, she changed, and not in a good way. I was right after I met Toothless and named him. After we became the best of friends, my mother just began to care less and less. Everything became about the dragons, making sure they were cared for and safe. But when it came to me, forget it. If I was sick, she only took care of me because she had to, and not because she wanted to. If a dragon was sick, I didn't even exist. If I was hurt, I got told to walk it off. A dragon was hurt, she cared for the dragon like it was her child. She never kept her promises, never had. Toothless taught me how to fly him and not her. I say dragons, and she says it's not love. Well, fine then. You do, you, and your dragon's mom. I'll find out who I really am, because it certainly isn't like you. I sighed heavily, looking around. I've seen a lot of islands lately, all Viking inhabited too, so it wasn't safe to land there to rest up. I was making a map as I went, labeled how far we were from the ice nest, while we got farther and farther away from it. I could tell for sure that we were about to hit a bad storm. The winds were picking up, and the clouds are darkening, while Toothless was having a harder time flying through it. Alright, bud, we got land to ride this out, I told Toothless. He nodded, agreeing with, while we flew a little more. An island with deep trees could be seen. It was the best shot we had. A crack of lightning struck through the sky in front of Toothless, startling him to rear back. The wind caught his wings, and we crashed into some kind of wooden tower. I fell off of it. Toothless! I called out. My dragon screeched out as he dove and whipped around, wrapping me in his wings. I felt us hit something hard and roll a bit. Then everything went black around me. Regular POV. Everyone was in the hall for lunch and sheltered from the storm when they heard a screech through the brief silence in the storm. Constantly winning, also assuming it was a raid, the mass of Vikings rushed out ready to defend the village, but August saw something whack the tower, dive, then roll into the village square, remaining almost completely still. As they got closer, they saw what it was. A dragon, and not just any, a night fury. With its wings wrapped around itself and unconscious. Astrid had been one of the first out. She inspected the unconscious dragon laying in the village square. When the dragon shifted slightly his wings, loosening a wrapping, as Astrid gasped, seeing messy auburn hair from the small opening the dragon's wings made. Oh my god! There's someone wrapped in his wings? She exclaimed. So what did you get the tip? Another called out quickly. Stoic had been in his house early tonight, so he probably had no idea what happened outside. Everyone stay back! It's a night fury, someone warned as everyone was shocked and confused, but kept their distance from the large dragon. They all wondered who this boy was and why he was wrapped in the night fury's wings. Also, if he was even alive.